The other gem of the city is the Cathedral of Our Savior on the Spilled Blood, and it reminds me of St. Basil's, which is on Red Square, as it looks like the same, or it was constructed later on in the 19th century, but with a very popular of the age of the 19th and 20th century style called Russian Revival style. Russian Revival style would include such details in the architecture as the plenty of gables, and we call them kokoshniks, or the Russian hairdressers. It reminds of the Russian hairdressers. Then the traditional colors for the architecture of Russia of 16th and 17th century, such as plenty of golden color and red color, and then also the unusual shapes. So the story behind of the construction of this cathedral is quite tragic, as it was constructed on the same place where the attempt of the assassination of our Russian Emperor Alexander II happened in the 19th century. Alexander II is known in Russian history as the liberator, as in 1861 he liberated the peasants. On the same place where he was murdered, we have this church. Inside, the cathedral looks like a magical box, as it's decorated with plenty of mosaics. You can see them everywhere, on the pillars, on the vaults, on the walls and in the ceiling. So the total area of the mosaic is equal to 7,000 square meters. And the reason why the masters decided to decorate the walls of the cathedral with mosaics was just very simple. Inside it's very cold and wet, so mosaic would stand longer when the wall painting. More than 30 masters would take part in the project of the mosaics. Within them, of course, the famous Russian artists such as Vasnetsov. They would create it in such a way. The walls are decorated with the scenes from the Old and New Testament. Then the pillars are decorated with the images of the saint martyrs of Russian Orthodox Church. And on the edge of the pillars, or somewhere between the windows, you will find also a very beautiful mosaic of the floral ornament. There are plenty of symbols inside the cathedral which would remind us about the dedication of it, as it was constructed to commemorate the Russian Emperor Alexander II. For example, the distance between the floor and the top of the main cupola is equal to 81 meters, which would remind us about the year of the assassination, 1881. The other thing is that in the basement of the cathedral there are plenty of red granite tables with inscriptions telling the story of different business deals of Alexander II. One of the most extraordinary elements of the cathedral is the Holy Shrine, which is the main sanctuary of the cathedral, which reminds us about the assassination happened in the year 1881. Alexander II, Russian Emperor, was just on his regular way to Palace Square when the bomb was thrown to the cortege of the Emperor. He wasn't injured that time, so he wanted to walk around and see who made it, and then he came back to the same place where he was assassinated for the first time. The second bomb was thrown just next to his feet, and unfortunately he was injured at that time. So the same day he died because of the wounds. On the same place where he was assassinated there is this sanctuary. It's made of the gemstones brought from Altai and from the Ural Mountains, including the rhodonite, jasper and serpentine.